Progress, not perfection. Hello, YouTubers out there. This is NHRA 1975. It's October 13th, 2024. It's Thanksgiving weekend up here in Canada, so colder weather is coming. Leaves are falling. I haven't made a video in quite some time. I guess the biggest thing that's happened that's kind of screwed things up is I have blood cancer. So I have a form of blood. I was diagnosed at the end of July, early August of this year. I was having problems with my eyes before, and something called heavy legs, where you'd walk and you'd be really tired really quick. Yeah, so I was diagnosed with that. It's specifically called Waldenstrom Magnum, whatever, and it ends up kind of screwing up your blood, the thickness, the viscosity of your blood. So all the hot rodders out there know what I'm talking about. Like, my blood was like 90 weight when I needed 30 weight, and it ends up you can get a stroke from it and everything. That's actually, my grandfather had it, and that's actually how he one of the reasons why he passed. He had a stroke just because his Waldenstrom got out of control. And but anyway, so I've been doing chemotherapy and this and that, but I'm still working on my stuff. It's not curable, but it's treatable. It's not like a stage 4 cancer or something, but it's a slow moving cancer. But you do your treatment, your chemo, and hopefully that lasts for 5-10 years, and then the levels stay good, and you might have to do it again after that, but hopefully technology catches up. So anyways, yeah, I've been dealing with that and trying to still do stuff in the garage, and I still am doing stuff. Like, I actually got to the track. So let's move into that now. I did get to the track, I guess probably 3 or 4 weeks ago now, last month, and I did make some progress again with the car. The lower rad hose didn't fall off, so I fixed that. Let's just show you that. So all along, I could have just used one of these kind of flexible hoses that I should have put on years ago, and it's held up just fine, and it's just the right length. So that's one thing from the last time I was at the track. But let's start off with a good success at the track. I did a 1.452 in the 60 foot, so that was pretty good with this engine. After that, it totally died for another reason. But yeah, so I think this car could probably 60 foot, like when everything's sorted out in the low fours, maybe even touch the threes. Like, that's pretty damn good for a 4,000 pound car. The two things that happened at the track though is I did a couple passes, and then I started smoking oil, right? Like, oil was coming out for some orifice, and I don't know, you probably can't tell, but down there I forgot to put on the fuel pump block off plate, so I just forgot. Obviously it's electric fuel pump, and then let out oil leaked on the headers, and no one's gonna have a fuel pump block off plate of the track. So anyways, I've since fixed that. I had to stop because I couldn't go any further because it was leaking oil. So that got changed, and then I also put on a dipstick. I finally got around to put an oil dipstick in. So hopefully that takes care of the oil problems with this thing. I didn't lose that much oil. It didn't damage anything internally. I still had lots of oil in the oil pan, over 5 quarts, I'd say. But the other problem was, as soon as I left the line, the like good 60 foot time happened, and then it just started stuttering. So the problem with that is, I'm pretty sure there was debris in the fuel pump regulator. So that I pulled this out, and yeah, of course there's a piece of AN hose, and I didn't know / didn't research enough. You're supposed to have a fuel filter before the regulator. So my friend gave me this, Ed, good guy, he's helped me a lot this year. Put that on, and that should stop this from happening again. But what would happen too is just cruising around the block here, the fuel pressure would spike, like go up like 12 or something nuts. So I phoned Magna Fuel and said, yeah, it's probably debris. So it was debris, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just in the process of putting that back together. Using this gasket, which isn't cheap, or actually it's called diaphragm. So that's like 30 bucks. So make sure you put that on right. You don't tear it. So that should take care of that. The other problems, that was the biggest problem, because I mean, obviously it totally stuttered everything with the engine and I couldn't get a clean pass. But I tell you, like, I could feel the power in this thing, even the burnout box and mostly in the 60 foot. Like, I think this would go 1.3 something, maybe this thing goes 6.6 to 6.5 in the 8th. I don't know, we'll see. But you have to have a clean pass first. But I'm gonna get that done. So that shouldn't take long. Also too, I mean, I bought one of these Holley specific fuel line things and it leaked from here, so I might just go back to my old one. Beyond that, just doing, like, I have this isn't a good pump. This is a quick start 300 Dyno Fuel. I also put a gauge on here because this is adjustable, and I was thinking maybe that was a problem, but I have 20 psi coming out of there, so I'll just adjust this down to 25 and that should be all set. The fuel system hopefully is going to be operating just well. Okay, there's that. And the other problem I faced was I took a look under the differential, and a bunch of the bolts had come loose from the anti-roll bar. You can see that one down there, so that came off. So all these sort of, most of these are going to have to be double nutted and stuff, because I mean it just comes apart. So that's got to be something I got to fix too. There's also something here with clearance. Now that the 60 foots and this thing's really torquing, it's moving stuff around more. With the with this rear slick, it's starting to rub more. You see, it's starting to rub right there. So there is a difference side to side between clearance of each wheel well. So I'm gonna have to try to move this. You can actually move the since I have adjustable uppers, you can move that more to one side. So I'm gonna try to do that, or at least clearance this wheel well more, because you can't have your slick. They'll puncture a hole in the slick. So that's another thing. For upgrades over the winter for this, what I'd like to do is put this thing on wheel cribs. So you get you just get some, I've seen many videos on YouTube, you just get 2x4s and stack it up. So it'll be elevated and I can get under there and check the pinion angle, because I was trying to do the best I could going under the car here, but there's not a lot of clearance, so it's sort of hard to check your pinion angle. But I'm pretty sure that's not right, so I'm going to do that over the winter. I might add a brace. At the back of the upper control, I have one now. It goes from the upper control, back of the upper control arm down to the frame, but it's kind of the weak stock ones. So that's one thing I want to do. I want to add more bracing there, a better brace, because suppose those torque boxes can actually rip out. That's it. Pinion angle. Okay, but right now, before I put the trailer in storage, or some stuff I want to do. Right now, one of the big problems with the trailer is just the battery size. Here, I'll show you. The battery box the trailer came with could only fit this really small 96-hour battery, which is just a starter battery. So I want to put a bigger battery in, a marine battery at 27M, and to do that I'm gonna have to do some I was just thinking of getting a tongue box, but the tongue box, I wanted to put a tongue box here, but the tongue box doesn't fit. So I want to change that to well, I've scrapped the tongue box plan, and what I'm going to do is I bought this just off Facebook Marketplace. I have a neighbor, and we'll cut this in half right there, and then I'll have two boxes, so we'll cut that in half and then we'll put it here. So I'll have more than enough for put the battery in, as well as storage. And this is a nicer box. I'll have to fix this. I bought this for hardly anything, but it has a lip and everything to keep it from not leaking. So that's one thing I want to do with the trailer, and I want to get this done before, so next year come May there's less stuff to worry about, less stuff to fix. Try to get as much done now so that I can actually race next year, and actually get that thing, put a GoPro camera in it and like on the roll bar, so I can get some footage of me actually racing for you guys. I get to the track now and it's all frazzled because I'm trying to fix whatever I can and all this other crap. I forget to put it because I brought this camera to the track both times this year and I never put it in. So I'm hoping next year to get some actual footage. So anyways, yeah, that's the big thing. Just get the boxes on this. I also I have a fair lead. This will get bunched up. If you don't have a fair lead, this quick cable will get all bunched up, which happened, of course. So I got my neighbor making a bracket to put the fair lead in, which is the roller thing there in front of this. Yeah, so that'll be great. That'll be great to have all that storage. It's gonna take a little bit of finagling to make it work, but that's a pretty solid way of storing your stuff as far as I'm concerned. And obviously it's gonna fit right here, so I might have to extend out like that a little bit, but extend here a little bit, but it'll work way better than trying to put another. I was going to put the battery box down here, but then with the larger battery, your ground clearance really comes into effect. So anyways, so that's it in the truck. The truck basically, it's worked. Yes, so the truck this year performed fairly well. The problem just a few weeks ago though, I had some problems. The radiator started leaking just out of one of these, in these plastic tanks. You can't fix it, so I had to replace the radiator, and the replacement, the core isn't as big, so the fans are working harder, these electric fans, which really work well. I think they're going to be working a little harder, but the radiator went, so that was a job. And then I just replaced the alternator. I think it was getting a bit weak. So but other than that, the truck actually performed fairly well this year. There wasn't anything too bad. There was an exhaust leak last week that sort of came up, but I towed my friend's car up to a town up north, probably about, close to 100 miles from here, and again the truck worked really well. Towed it no problem, so that was good. But I'd like to the problem with the truck right now, what I'd like to do is there's a problem with a hot start, so I'd like to fix that. It's just too much initial timing, so I have a pretty much stock HEI in there that just has a lot of initial, so when it's hot, it doesn't turn over too quick. It's fighting, the ignition's fighting the starter. So that's one thing before I put in storage I'd maybe like to figure out. I don't know if I can or not. I have a friend who said he could help me with that, but the weights and the springs on HEI are kind of hard to set up, and you really need a distributed machine to do it like somewhat easily. And there's not many of those around anymore. That's a lost art. So I did have a friend who had one, but that was 10 years ago, and he's since sold it all. So that was nice. I guess that's it really for the truck. There's a bunch of small stuff I want to do with the truck, like one of the drums on the truck grabs a bit, so I'd like to fix that, just get that turned. I found someone semi-locally who can turn that. And then I'll take the discs on the Monte need to get also turned. So anyways, there's a bunch of stuff to do. So really, I just have, I'm just gonna, there's just a lot of stuff to do, and really I just want to see if I can have the time in between, you know, the chemo treatments, which kind of set me back about a week in terms of energy, and there's other treatments too and stuff I have to do, but you know, I'm gonna try my best to do what I can before the snow comes down, and I can prepare myself better for next year. So anyways, guys, just thought I'd give you an update. And yeah, again, next year I'll get some video. I mean, I have to look at it like this: progress, not perfection, because eventually I'll get this thing sorted out and the Monte will run real nice, and I can actually do some bracket racing. And anyways, yeah, just real happy you guys are around, and hope everything goes well for you over the winter and stuff, and get your hot rod upgrades and drag car upgrades done, and I'll see you later. Update here, change the diaphragm, and no leaks. So make sure if you have a MagnaFlow regulator and you need to take it apart, put a fresh diaphragm in. They're expensive, but you won't leak. Once they're exposed to air, I think they end up curling up, and I got an immediate leak last time and it was spurting all over the place. Now no leaks, and guess what, this don't leak either. So I changed a bunch of these, I just tightened a bunch of these fittings, and now no leaks. So hopefully this does the job here, and I'll work on setting up the regulator in the back. And yeah, so hopefully that's it, guys. Just a little update. Progress, not perfection.